The Gobi Desert. It's a desert located in the south of Mongolia and north of China, where it's one of the largest deserts, and just like most deserts, it is a very tough and barren environment. Many things can kiss you goodnight here, like the excruciating 114 degrees Fahrenheit summers, or the freezing negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit winters. Or maybe the wildlife will do the trick, like venomous snakes, or the elusive and rare snow leopard and Gobi bears. The Gobi Desert homes many rare creatures, but one creature has put fear into the Mongolian people,
Must be a million of them!
and that is
Nope, just one.
the Mongolian deathworm. Throughout history, Mongolian nomads will encounter a creature in the most harshest parts of the desert, calling them Olgoi Kodkoi, translating to intestine worm. Described as red-like in color, 2 to 7 feet long, with a corrosive yellow saliva and an electrical discharge to stun and kill prey, dragging any unsuspecting victim to their sandy grave. This creature will be an integral part of Mongolian folklore, and the legend will be passed down to the next generation, where the creature will be feared and will be best advised to not look for it, as the people will warn not to look for it or meet your untimely death. During the 1920s, American archaeologist Roy Chapman Andrews took expeditions to Mongolia in search of early hominid remains in Asia. Instead of finding what he was looking for, his party were the first in the world to discover dinosaur eggs, and also uncover fossils of Parasauritherium. In his book On the Trail of Ancient Humans, Andrew mentions that during his expeditions to Mongolia, the Mongolian Prime Minister would request Roy and his team to capture the specimen known as Olgoi Kodkoi, but Roy would never encounter such creature, only hearing about it from locals who would corroborate the story. After this, expeditions to Mongolia would decrease, because of world events that would transpire during that time, and also that Mongolia was under the influence of the USSR. It wasn't until the 1990s when an author by the name of Ivan McCurley would popularize the creature. Ivan had previously investigated the Loch Ness Monster and would try to find Count Dracula's castle in Transylvania. He would do 3 expeditions looking for the creature after one of his Mongolian students mentioned the creature. Starting in 1990 to 2004, Ivan would travel to Mongolia looking for the creature. In one of his expeditions, he used explosives to simulate rhythmic dumping to attract the creature, which he got from an idea from the book Dune. He also had vivid nightmares of the creature, and during his last expedition, he used an ultralight plane to calm the Gobi Desert, but would always come empty-handed and mostly get second-hand tellings of the creature. After the 3rd expedition in 2004, Ivan concluded that the Mongolian deathworm was nothing more than a myth, saying that the creature was nothing more than a figment of the imagination brought upon the Gobi Desert's extreme heat. Every investigation on the Mongolian deathworm will always end up empty-handed, with barely any evidence to prove it, which concludes that the deathworm is nothing more than a legend. Even during the rule of the Iron Curtain, Soviet scientists will come to the same conclusion, even pointing to the most likely source, that the Tartar sample was being mistaken for the monster, showing the snakes to the locals and then confirming that the snakes was the culprit. As much as I want to believe in this cryptid, there's no hard-hitting evidence to convince me, and I believe that the Mongolian deathworm is an allegory for the unforgiving and cruel environment that is the Gobi Desert, that for generations the Olgoi Kodkoi was a way to dissuade travelers from entering the maze that is the Gobi Desert, just like most cultures, showing people to not travel further out into the unknown.